Welcome. Today we're going to talk about how to clean the check valves on your Hydracell P200 pump. First and foremost, you're probably going to want to take a few rags, put these underneath in case there's any water in the pump head. I'll have a list of tools in the description below the video after, so you guys can always go back and reference that. First, what we're going to do is we're going to take a 1/2-inch socket. We're going to loosen all the head bolts on the head of the pump. You can now take the head of the pump off, set it to the side, make sure that the O-rings are still inside the head and they're not damaged. Next, you're going to grab a 3/16 Allen and you're going to remove the valve body. You might get a little bit of oil that comes out during this process, as well as water. That's okay. Also, there is washers in here that can come out. These ones are pretty good in there right now. If they do come out, you can always put them back in at the end. Now you're going to pull the head out. Like I said, you might get a little bit of oil coming out of the diaphragms. And this is the head of the pump, or the valve body, where all of your check valves are. So now to take out your check valves, you're going to grab your pick for the top row. You're going to pull out the seat and the spring. You can take each check valve out and clean it. There's just an example of 2 of them. And for the bottom check valves, you're going to use your check valve removal tool. Take the top piece here, squeeze them, put them inside. You push down. Actually, you can do it on this side of the pump. That releases your seal on top. And now you can remove the spring and the check valve. I recommend taking these over to a sink using hot water and some Dawn dish soap to clean out all the gunk in here. And to reassemble these, lower side, you're going to put your spring in first. You're going to drop your check valve on top, make sure it's seated in the center. And you're going to take your valve seat with your spring, or your washer that I told you might lose. Put that to the side. Press back in your valve seat. Then make sure that you put your washer back on the outside. The top ones are a little bit more tricky. The way I go about this is I put the check valve in, drop the spring on top, sometimes you can use a screwdriver to get it lined up. Then take the cage, push the cage over the top and make sure everything is lined up. The same with your last valve, spring, and the cage. Yeah, I just want to give you guys a close-up on the washers and the check valves after you're done reinserting them. You got to make sure that the washer with the H on it is facing out. Sometimes these will fall out during the process, so you want to make sure that those go back in and are flush with the face. And then also, sometimes what we'll do is lift this up to see if there's any light coming through the check valves, but again, you can check and make sure that they're functioning properly by pushing in and out on them to make sure that they're seated can also flip them back around, and you can go in from the back side and push the top check valves in. After that, you're going to clean the face of the pump. Make sure that you can get as much oil off as possible. Going to reinsert the head, the valve body, using your 3/16 Allen. Snug those up. And then the last part, you're going to make sure that the head of your pump is clean and the O-rings are in good shape. And you're going to reinsert all 8 bolts, tighten them down. Try to tighten them up in a cross pattern if you can. We'll snug them up with a ratchet.